I had nurtured a small kitchen garden, sowing coriander, squash, watermelon, and spinach with eager hands. Imagining the weeks I devoted myself to its care, watching the delicate seedling push through the soil, full of promise. But after 2 weeks, an urgent call took me to Nairobi, pulling me away from the garden tender needs. I stayed longer than anticipated, and as the days stretched on, a knot of worry tightened in my chest. When I finally returned home, my worst fears were realized. The once promising crops, now wilted and brittle, were ravaged by the merciless sun. The coriander, which had sprouted so brightly, was reduced to shriveled stems. The squash, barely hanging on, had withered under the restless heat. Watermelon vines lay flat against the dry earth, their thirst long ignored. Even the hardly spinach, when I had hoped would survive, had fallen victim to the unforgiving climate. My heart sank at the sight, disappointed crashing over me in waves. The time and effort I had poured into the garden, the dreams of a fruitful harvest, all scorched away under the cruel sun. It was as if nature had conspired in my absence to undo everything, leaving me staring at a graveyard of withered hopes. I stood there paralyzed by the weight of my disappointment. The effort, the hope, the dreams I had placed into the small patch of soil obliterated. Moral lessons: diligence and care. Tending to something regularly is crucial for its survival. Just as garden needs consistent care, so do relationships, responsibilities, and goals in life. Absence or neglect, even unintentional, can lead to the deterioration of things we worked hard to build. Responsibility and stewardship. When entrusted with something, whether it's a garden, family, or task, it is our duty to ensure it thrives. If circumstances prevent us from doing so, finding trustworthy help or preparation in advance is key. Patience and resilience. Disappointment is part of life's journey. Even when things go wrong, like the garden being destroyed, is an opportunity to rebuild, learn, and adapt. Challenges build resilience and provide valuable lessons for the future. Preparedness for the unexpected. Nature, like life, is unpredictable. Preparing for possible challenges, whether it's protecting the garden from the sun or chickens, reminds us always to be vigilant and anticipate potential difficulties. Biblical lessons. Stewardship of creation. The Bible calls us to be good stewards of God's creation. In Genesis chapter 2:15, Adam is placed in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. This reflects our duty to care for what God has entrusted us with, whether it's garden or other responsibilities. Number 2, the parable of the sower. Matthew chapter 13 verse 3 to 9. In this parable, the seeds that fall on different kinds of ground represent the garden of God and how it grows in the hearts of people based on their circumstances. Just as garden needs fertile soil and proper care to grow, so does our faith and actions in life. Number 3, perseverance in adversity. James chapter 1 verse 2 to 4. Trials such as the loss of our garden, test of our faith and character. Consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. The destruction of the garden can be seen as a test, one that strengthens perseverance, and leads to personal growth. Number 4, God restores. Joel chapter 2 verse 25. The Bible speaks of God's ability to restore what was lost. I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten. Though the garden is lost, there is hope for restoration and even greater growth in the future. In reflecting on the disappointment, God reminds us to trust in God's plan, continue our diligence, and see our every feedback as an opportunity of growth.